Please allow me to thank the MC for the kind introduction, maybe a little overdone, and he ended up embarrassing me. But thank you all for being here. Members of government, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, the United Nations Development Program, and the National Development Planning Commission, Nimoy and his group, our development partners, civil society representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the media too. I bring you warm greetings on behalf of His Excellency, the President of Ghana, and on my own behalf. The theme for the forum today highlights our vision for transformative and inclusive development, driven by local actions across Ghana and Africa. This forum is taking place at a time when development financing across the global south is under immense pressure. While official development assistance has historically been a cornerstone of development financing, traditional aid flows are now declining. Many donor countries are grappling with political shifts leading to aid cuts or reallocation away from development cooperation. External concessional financing is also increasingly limited. Public debt is rising, and the fiscal space for government to respond to basic needs is becoming narrower. At the same time, we face major crises, including climate change, conflict, and economic shocks with great impacts on vulnerable communities. All these signal that we cannot rely solely on aid as a primary engine of development. We are being challenged to think differently, and as a government, create an enable environment to boost domestic investment and mobilize new forms of financing. And more importantly, if not most importantly, we are being reminded to place citizens at the center of the decision-making on the use of resources. What does it mean to reimagine financing? It means shifting from dependency to ownership. Ghana and many African nations are re-examining models that rely too much on aid. We are deepening domestic resource mobilization, broadening tax base, and reforming public financial management systems. And in 2020, for example, the government has tasked the Ghana Revenue Authority to increase its annual revenue from 0.6%. We are abolishing withholding tax and tightening oversight to combat gold smuggling, for example. And the 2025 budget proposes VAT registration thresholds, removing levies like the COVID-19 and e-levy, and consolidating levies. Reimagining financing also means harnessing new resources such as blended finance, climate finance, diaspora bonds, and sovereign wealth vehicles that unlock local and global capital. But development financing is not just about money. It is about power and agency. That is why civic action must be central to our vision of development financing. Civil society, social movements, traditional leaders, youth groups, are the youth here? I specifically mentioned you for a good reason. Your groups, women's associations, academics, I see Professor Akilakwa here, and individuals are co-creators of change. You monitor how public resources are to be used. You amplify citizens' priorities, and increasingly, you must see to the implementation of solutions to complement government efforts. This government is committed to creating an enabling environment where civic actors are empowered. Four implications arrive from these observations. The first has to do with reforming regulatory frameworks that govern NGOs and CSOs. There is currently no specific law in place that facilitates the activities of CSOs and nurtures the development of the civil society space. The non-profit bill is in the works. I think the lady talked about it. And we are committed to working with civil society to build consensus towards passing the bill into law. 2, creating structured platforms for government civil society dialogue. This government has shown commitment in building citizens' actions around key reforms. It has organized 2 significant fora, the Ghana National Economic Dialogue and the National Education Forum, to ensure broad-based consensus on economic and educational reforms. Also, consultations have taken place between the government and civil society on setting up a National Governance Council. You're not happy about that? Thirdly, supporting local philanthropic ecosystems. We will need to examine our policies and legislations to ensure easier registration of NGOs, community foundations, and philanthropic organizations. We must also promote giving by enhancing tax incentives and working with such organizations to address social and economic challenges. And just as importantly, building trust between the state and citizens through initiatives such as open government partnership, budget hearings, and town halls. This takes us to the opportunities ahead. Firstly, Ghana and Africa's demography offers a youthful population brimming with innovation and energy. With nearly 6 to 10 Ghanaians under the age 25, the demographic challenge is also our greatest opportunity. We must invest boldly in quality and relevant education, digital skills, decent work, and platforms for youth-led civic action. And we invite civil society to partner us to achieve this. Also, the African Continental Free Trade Area opens doors for regional collaboration in mobilizing new capital and advancing local enterprise. In addition, digital transformation is revolutionizing the way we deliver services, mobilize resources, and engage communities. In light of all these, we should work together on a social contract for development in Ghana and beyond, built on shared accountability, co-investment, and decentralized power. Distinguished guests, we are at a strategic moment in our journey to prosperity. Traditional models of top-down aid, of passive citizenship, of external solutions are no longer sufficient. We must build a future that is inclusive, sustainable, and just. And in order to build this, we must reimagine financing and reclaim civic action. We must work together across sectors, generations, and borders. Let Ghana be a place where local initiative meets strategic investment, where accountability meets empowerment, where development is done with ordinary people in mind. Let us go forward and build the Ghana and Africa we know we can build and be proud of. Thank you all very much.